It brings me no pleasure to talk about this, but the crime wave in New Orleans continues. I'm Scoot. Welcome to the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. Glad you're with us. Thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't become a subscriber, I hope you decide to subscribe. We'll give you a notice every time we post something. And as you can see, if you go back and look at some of the videos that I posted, there's a lot of interesting stuff on this YouTube channel. And by the way, I've been talking about this for a while, but I'm about to get some help. And we're going to elevate this up another notch. So hopefully this is really just the beginning of all of this. But let's get to the serious topic here. I am from New Orleans, raised here, but I've lived all over the country, worked in markets from coast to coast. But this is my home. I'm back home in New Orleans. I'm doing this show on YouTube from my apartment near the lake, area of West End, near the lake in New Orleans. I left downtown because it just got too dangerous. Simple as that. The building I lived in was becoming a shit show. The neighborhood was a shit show, and I had to leave. I am so comfortable living where I live now. I love New Orleans, but my love for the city doesn't diminish my desire to be honest about the city. We got to stop pretending that this shit isn't happening. And more people are getting frustrated. On my radio show today, I had a number of people who identified themselves as African Americans who are disgusted with this shit. They are fed up with it. This is not about race. It's about human behavior. And the very people that are most affected are the ones that it seems like some people don't want to offend. Oh, we can't talk about this because, well, the majority of the people who do this are young African-American males. Well, I'm sorry that that's a fact, but that doesn't mean it's because they're Black. It has to do with what is acceptable in the community, what is being allowed to happen. It's the idea that there are not enough police officers in New Orleans. In addition to that, we've got a revolving door, and there are too many people that get arrested and get right back out. And then there are not enough beds to house the juveniles. So where do you keep them? Don't bring the little bastards to my house. So what do you do with them? Housing is another problem. But look, you know, on the video last night, I talked about the carjackings. It is still a big problem. More carjackings in the news today. Here's an email that I got. My email address is scoot@wwl.com. And this is from a listener named Dale. And he says, 3 cars are broken into at our office this morning, and a gun was stolen. The police say that they were not coming out. They took a report over the phone. And he said, this person says it's out of control. This was at 6 a.m. this morning. First of all, if you leave your car unlocked and a gun is stolen out of your car, you need to be arrested. Because you can't give guns to the fucking criminals. And that's what you're doing. And is there a way to not keep the gun in your car? Because that's where these bastards are getting the fucking guns. They're stealing them. They're not going to a gun shop and buying the guns. So then they've got the tool of their trade, the gun. There was another shooting. There have been 3 shootings on I-10 in New Orleans since Saturday. There was another one this afternoon. This happened during my show. Somebody called into my radio show on WWL in New Orleans and was talking about the crime scene and all the markers, the crime tape, and then all the little markers designating where there are shells or bullets on the ground. A 34-year-old mother is dead. Somebody shot her multiple times in a car driving down the interstate. Police don't know or haven't said if it was random or if it was targeted. The sad thing is the woman's daughter was in the car. She's got 2 kids, but her daughter was in the car with her. And a relative was on the phone with the woman when she was shot. And she knew something was wrong when the child in the back keeps telling her mom, "Mom, wake up, Mom, wake up." She wasn't unconscious. She was dead. What do you think that's going to do to that child? And what about the 7-year-old that we talked about, who was in the backseat of a car of an attempted carjacking just the other day? And, you know, the kids are screaming in the back while these guys have got guns pointed at their parents in the front seat. This has to stop. And now we've got the New Orleans Police Department and the DA's office kind of arguing with each other. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your. You know, a lot of this is about political bullshit. And we better figure out a way to come together. I'm not going to tell you not to come to New Orleans. But I will tell you, if you come here, you better be careful. And if you're driving here, you better be damn careful. And I need to, on my radio show, and I'll do it here on social media, if I find some information about how you can best avoid being carjacked, if there's a way to even do it, I'm going to start talking about that. Because I know I got an email from somebody who was in the military. She was also an NOPD officer. And she said in the military, she learned how to maneuver herself in a vehicle so she wouldn't be carjacked, or to stand the best chance of not being carjacked. But the bottom line is this. There are not enough police. There are no consequences for negative behavior. These judges give these low bails, and these little punk bastards get out. They don't suffer. And I don't mean physically suffer in pain. They're not suffering. It's time that we stopped coddling them. It's time that we stopped giving more credit to the criminals than to the victims. And then, you know, there's an NOPD officer, New Orleans police officer, full uniform, gun, everything, on a detail. And near him, somebody's pointing out, they're breaking into cars over here. The cop can't do anything because he's on the detail. So why are you even wearing the uniform? If you're a police officer, it seems to me that you should be a police officer. I realize that you are beholden to the people who are hiring you for the detail, but you can't be a regular cop. There can't be something in that agreement that if something happens, you can act on it. And these little bastard criminals know this. I know there's crime everywhere, but I can only speak about what I know about here in New Orleans. And there's a crime wave going on here. And we have a mayor who has still not really addressed the issue, not to the satisfaction of even her base audience. We've got a DA who ran on a very progressive campaign plan, a very progressive mentality. Oh, we need to be understanding of the criminals. Bullshit. Kids need to be taken care of when they come out of the womb. But if their parents, if nobody raised them, then at some point society has to take over. And we got to punish them. It seems like things are going to come to a head. We're going to reach a point of critical mass where more is going to have to be done, or this city is going to suffer tremendously. And it's too good of a city to let that happen. But we need people to stand up and not be afraid to address the real issue. And the issue is human behavior that the politicians, many of them, don't want to address. Some of them are. And the New Orleans City Council has 2 special meetings set up now because of this crime wave, because of what's being talked about in the city now, because of all that's on the news every freaking night. The city council is addressing this with the police chief on Thursday and with the DA on Monday. Let's see if there are any real promises of change. I'm Scoot. Thank you for being with me here on the Scoot on the Air YouTube channel. You can join me on my radio show on WWL New Orleans, 870 AM, 105.3 FM. Go to our website. You can stream the show live. Go to WWL.com and stream it live. I'm on the air Monday through Friday, 1 to 4 in the afternoon. And you can also download the Audacy app, AUDACY, and type in WWL.